Today I got Thomas Dykes. Thomas is a real estate agent here in Dallas. You got a great success story, and my favorite thing, giving back to the community, something you're really passionate about. So first, let's dive into, I know you moved here from out of state, but earlier you were telling me you got sober, then moved here, and then got into real estate. So walk me through that real quick.
Yeah, so I got sober 7 years ago in June, and my friend that I was living with in Palm Springs was like, "Hey, want to go to Texas?" And I was like, "Texas and like leave this Palm Springs?" And I was like, you know what? Why not? Like, I need to change the scenery. It'd be good for me." And so I did, and immediately got into real estate, or went through the process while staying at Starbucks. And for the first 2.5 years, I was doing both full-time Starbucks and full-time real estate. And
It takes a while to build that up, the real estate career. A lot of people don't understand it's a slow burn.
And yeah, it does. And it was a lot harder for me because I'm moving to a state where I don't have any family, I don't have any friends, I know no one. And so I did what I was told in school. They were like, "You're getting your license. You start telling people now." So, most agents, they don't get more than one deal, if that, in their first year. And
Right.
I ended up, getting involved with the community, Starbucks. I had 6 deals in my first year without knowing
Wow.
anything about Texas or anyone here. It was all word of mouth. I got into a kickball team. And that's where I actually met my first 2 clients, who are also my very good friends still to this day, as far as first real estate deal.
A lot of people that get into real estate, I mean, we all know the statistics, right? They don't last more than 18 months, like 80% of them don't last more than 18 months. When you got that first deal, when you got that first closing, was it like an aha moment, or was it just kind of running them like, oh, maybe this was not like on accident, or did you just immediately know right then and there, okay, I can actually make a career out of this?
Yeah, it was like, well, I knew in my mindset, I was like, Starbucks was great, but like I never liked having to rely on someone to help me pay rent or anything like that. So I was like, okay, well, I got this first deal done. I can do this.
Yeah.
But I can't and never have been able to do it alone, obviously. So after that first deal, it took me, I did 6 deals in my first year. So a lot of it was, word referral too, because a lot of agents, they don't understand what we call easy mailbox money.
Yeah.
Someone in real estate school taught me what that was, and I was like, well, what's that? And they're like, well, unfortunately, you got to talk to all the people, random strangers, and if they need real estate in a different state, you can refer them to an agent and get a commission off of that.
So you're making money off of just complete because your license doesn't apply out of state.
Correct.
So someone that you can't help anyways. Mm-hmm. A lot of agents just write that off.
Right. They say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you."
But you're making a little bit of mailbox money just by contacting 2 people together and
just by talking to people.
Yeah.
Well, also because I grew up in Georgia and I lived in California for 6 years, so I have people there who already have those connections. But like, that being said, once I had found that out, it was easier because I was working Starbucks. But I could also make that money as well until I was able to be on my own.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great source of income. You're absolutely right. I know a lot of agents don't realize you can make some good money just doing the referral source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, I have to talk to random strangers? Oh, it sounds terrible.
So sobriety, you just decided one day enough is enough, I need to quit what I'm doing and I need to get my life on track, or was it even more or less intense than that?
Well, it was actually just that. Like, I woke up one day and the restaurant that I was working at had caught fire, so I had been forced out of a job. And so I woke up one day and I was like, I'm so over this drama and this lifestyle. Like, I gotta change. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm done. And I went to rehab for 30 days. And then after 30 days, like, for what I did, it wasn't alcoholism. It was the other stuff, the hardcore drugs. I was just like, they were like, no, it's against medical advice for anyone that does what you do to leave sooner than 90 days. And I was like, well, I'm different. And I left after 30 days and been sober for almost 7 years.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to do.
It really is.
Yeah. And then to go from that to be successful in a new state, in a new environment, new job.
A stressful job.
Yeah.
That most that do this job need a drink at the end of the day.
Yes, agents like to drink. I know that. I know that if I walk into an office with a raffle prize of anything other than like put your card in, I'll get about 50% of the audience to put their card in. And it could be like tickets to a ball game or anything. But if I walk in with a bottle of whiskey and say I'm raffling the whiskey off, about 90% of the agents drop their card in.
Yeah, or, best tip of advice, if you know your open house is not going to be busy and you want it to be busy, advertise there's free champagne or free bubbles. You might just get the agents coming in, but at least they're getting agents that may or may not in the future have a client interested in your property.
I've always been curious what it is about that industry and some other industries like insurance and some other that just kind of attract like people that love to go socialize and do that. And I think it's more that than the alcohol itself, but I think it's that social hour that people really, really enjoy. But it is a certain industries that attract that kind of, let's go to the bar after work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can't answer really more on that other than I just know that if you're having an event and there's alcohol, just you say there's an open bar, you'll have people come.
You definitely have people. I think that's true in a lot of aspects in life. I'm picking on the real estate market right now. But in general, I have noticed that with especially office jobs, not specifically real estate, but anyone that's working in an office a lot. They love to get out and get down to the bar after work.
Like go get a beer with the boys.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that a lot. So just interesting side tangent there, but
yeah.
Okay, so you've been in Dallas, you said 7 years now?
It'll be 6 years in April.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't believe it's gone by so fast.
So you lived through COVID here.
Yep.
Worked through COVID. How's the business now? Are you thriving? Is it picking up? I know we've had a slow start to this year, but I mean generally speaking over the last year or so.
Over the last, I'll be honest with you, last year was probably one of my slowest years. Of course, They say it was the slowest in almost 30 years, but other than that, business is starting to pick up for me. Yeah. I have a few listings coming up in March. I just picked up a new buyer. People are starting to slowly come back.
Yeah. And this is January, by the way, that we're in right now. So.
Oh yeah. No, it's February now.
Oh, it's February. You're right. I'm so sorry. No, we're 4 days into February.
I thought it felt like the longest year last month, and it was only January.
Yeah, January felt like a very long. January of 25 is what we're speaking of right now. So that was hard.
Yeah, and also for me last year I was like, because I was able to back up. So 2.5 years into real estate, I was so successful because I was actually working with a team. I had the good broker. I'm with HomeSmart, and I was at the time on the team Texas Pride Realty Group, who I had a great business manager and mentors and all that helping me get. They said, Thomas, we've got a business plan for you. When do you want to stop and quit Starbucks? And I wrote it down. I said April of, I don't even know, whatever the year was. It was 22, I think. And sure enough, they helped me get to that point. And by April 16th is when I was able to say bye to Starbucks and go full-time real estate. Like, oof, that was like scary because like the last 30 years, I wasn't working when I was 1, but I'd literally been on my working
for someone
my entire life. So now I'm like working.
Now your paycheck comes from you.
Yeah, and like if I don't close something, I'm not getting paid.
Right.
Which a lot of people don't understand that. We're not paid by the hour.
No.
So
money has to transfer from the bank to the title before you get any money.
Exactly. And like if it doesn't close or I don't sell a house, I'm not getting paid. But it's more than just the being a business. To me, like I thrive when, because a lot of people, they don't see, a lot of people don't see what do you do other than real estate, right?
Right.
Like I see you're a successful real estate agent, but what is there more? Is there more to it? Like, and that's what I learned from the team that I was on. They were like, just be yourself. You don't have to be in a tuck or a suit and tie. Like,
Right.
and that by far is just not me, especially in Texas weather.
No.
I mean, showing up to and showing like this is what you get. But I have a special thing about my business is, if you buy or sell with me, you get the experience, the Thomas Promise experience. Yeah. And there's no tagline. It's very unique. It just is used at the very special moment. So like if you want these repairs done, Thomas Promise, I'll get that for you. Or if you want this price for this house, Thomas Promise, I'll get that price for you.
I like that. That's almost a little treat that they get. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's catchy too. So, yeah.
We have, in a similar vein to that with the inspection business, some of our high production agents that their clients get sent to us a lot, we'll just name the discount code after them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So if it's just John Smith, it's John Smith's discount code, and they get because they've sent us a lot of business over the years,
Sure.
and we like working with them. And so any of the clients that call say, he just said mention his name, and yep, that's our discount code, and they type it in, and they get $50 or $100 off an inspection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So my code would be Thomas Promise.
Yeah. Thomas promised to get you a deal on an inspection.
Discount.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, that is, and that works well because it means that the agent has a working relationship with the vendors that they're sending them to, and they understand that if anything ever goes wrong for whatever reason, because we're so in step with each other, that either we're going to take care of it or he's going to take care of it. Whatever goes wrong, we both know that we got each other's backs. And so clients always feel at ease when they know, like, oh, he's got his own name of a discount.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got to be in good step with this company. So
oh yeah,
it's very helpful.
And I just realized that I didn't even like finish where I was going. Like, what more does Thomas? I kind of like. Got, but what I was getting at is like, so for me, like a lot of people, they just post the, oh, under contract, or like, oh, right, this house is for sale. That's all you see. Now for me, I know they say like you should, try to keep it like that or have your business on a separate page. Well, let me tell you, I do all my marketing, I do everything myself, and I found it, just keep it on one page because, it's hard to keep track. So I just post me being myself, like, doing what I love most is giving back to the community every which way I can. And
so that's interesting because I find that, so we've grown to the point where I am no longer the business. I own the business, but it's not me doing hardly any of the day-to-day. Mm-hmm. So now we've separated Lewis's life from Element Inspection. But in the beginning, and kind of as an independent agent, I think it is pretty important to identify your brand, mm-hmm. which is you, right? It's your name is your brand with your life. So people kind of get a feel for who am I going into business with.
Yeah.
With Element Inspection, they're going into business with Lewis, but more importantly, Element as a brand. But when it's you as the agent, like, where do you go at night? What do you do? Do you you ride cycle, right?
Yeah.
People can identify with that,
mm-hmm.
and they see, okay, Thomas is not just a robot. He's got hobbies and things that I also identify with.
Right, and
so I think that's good branding.
And not having any marketing or business ownership background at all. That's one thing that I was taught early on is like, find your niche or whatever.
Well, people work with people they like.
Yeah, and so what I'm getting at is like, at first I didn't cycle, and then COVID happened, and I got into cycling. Mm-hmm. And so then that was a whole nother sphere of people that I could, potentially reach out and help in the future. So like, it's gotten to a point now where I kind of created or designed a brand or a logo as this Dallas cycling agent.
Okay.
Because unfortunately I can't use realtor. It's trademarked, whatever. So it's like, But it was kind of hard. That's where I had the separate social media page where now it's just like, it wasn't as catchy, but those people that I cycle with, they know that I'm a real estate agent. So I don't actually have to, brand. And so I keep the Thomas promise.
But it's brand awareness.
Yeah, it's brand awareness to that group of people. And mind you, I went from not cycling to now I started a whole Dallas Cycloholics group of 295 cyclists.
Really?
Yeah, on Facebook. But there's
Very
a handful of us that try to ride during the season every Sunday. So it's a whole...
Me and a couple of guys try and ride every Sunday mountain biking. And it's a chore getting more than 2 or 3 guys out there.
Oh, yeah.
You have a group text with like 8 people in it, just one by one, Saturday afternoon. Wife said no. Oh, we got soccer. Yes, okay. And 3 dudes show up, but I get you there. Yeah, but the same thing in my group. They all know. Like I know everything about construction and home inspection. So it's just if they got questions about them or if they need me, everyone in that group knows.
Exactly.
And that's 8 customers that I might not have other had.
Right.
Yeah. So and you mentioned that. You like to give back. So tell me about, we got the dog here. We're into everyone knows Element donates 5% of our profits to animal shelters.
Uh-huh.
And I know you're pretty akin to that as well, right?
I am. I do love giving back. Actually, cycling, first we'll touch on the cycling part is, so being from California, I, do the AIDS Life Cycle, which is a 545-mile bike ride fundraiser from San Francisco to LA.
Jesus.
Yeah. Riders have to raise a minimum of $3,500 to participate. And it's really all the funds that are raised go to help, people that have or need medical services, housing, that have HIV, or just affordable housing and services at the San Francisco LGBTQ Center and the LA one as well. And I was, when I got into cycling, someone told me about that, and I was like, wait, 545 miles? I just learned how to cycle, and I live in Texas where it's flat. Now, what I mean by that is that the route itself, at the end of it, I have and will do a total of elevation gain, like 14,622, which is the same it takes to get to the top of Mount Everest, or Mount Kilimanjaro. One of the mountains.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that I was good at that. I've raised a total in the last 3 years combined $65,722 and some change.
How many days does that take you?
It's 7 days.
Jesus.
Yeah. But it's a
60 something, 70 something miles a day?
Well, they have it so each day is a different miles. So
right,
the shortest day is 40 and the longest day is 101.
Okay.
And it's fully supported, meaning like, there's, all we do is we give our packs to the trucks.
Right, yes, you have the pit crews along the way.
Yeah, we have pit crews. It's a whole, it's an experience in itself, but unfortunately, due to rising costs and everything, this is the last one, so June is the very last one.
It's hard to put those things on.
Yeah.
We have one here in Dallas, DORBA, Dallas Off-Road Bike Association puts on. It's called Judgment Day.
Oh.
So you have 2 options. You can do 70 mile or 100 mile.
Ooh.
And it's 10 trails. So you have to ride a trail, get in your truck, drive to the next trail, ride a trail, and you have to go to all 10. And you're either doing 7 miles per or 10 miles per, so you can do 70 or 100 miles, and you have 24 hours to finish it.
Wow.
No pit crew, no support. You are everything. Like you and your, so it's me, a buddy, our truck with the bikes on it, and a cooler full of Uncrustables, right?
Not the PB&J sandwiches from grade school.
Oh, they're terrible, but it's easy calories.
Yeah.
But it took us, I think, 17 or 18 hours. I burned 5,100 calories. I drank 3.5 gallons of water. Because it's called Judgment Day, because it's smack dab in the middle of the summer. It's June and August. So it's 105 at certain points.
It's like the hotter than hell 100-mile ride that I've done 4 times.
That one's a good one.
Yeah,
I've done parts of that, and anyone I know that has done both will say Judgment Day is just ballistic compared.
Really?
Yeah, because it's 100 miles on flat concrete. This is 70 miles of up and down the mountains, or 100 miles up and down the mountains.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but most I think they only have like a 60% finish rate. Like most people drop out.
I'd finish. That's what I've become accustomed to in the past. Not just with. I'm very competitive now. Like
You got to
the
do
younger version of me, you would never have. I would have never been competitive. Wasn't. But now it's like
It keeps you going though,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
It aids to your success.
Yeah, and then the other one that I do locally, giving back to, is similar to yours. Is Ears, Texas, which is a 501c3 nonprofit rescue. We rescue animals, and we also have fosters who foster them until they get adopted. And we also do other things like.
Man, I can't foster. I just,
Sure you can. I mean, not everyone's fit to be a foster.
no, I
Like,
just end up keeping.
Well,
like, I
yes.
can't, right? Like I can't give it up.
That's some of them more than others,
Yeah.
I can say. But I'm just so. I actually got introduced to the couple that are in charge of it, Nora and Steven, through a mutual friend, and just I love because I can't really have an animal at the moment, so I just volunteer and I love
That's
animals,
awesome.
and so one of our big things that we help out with because there's many other rescues and fosters. Like did you know there's a My Pig Phil Life fosters where they have
I did not know about My Pig.
212 pigs in this animal. I don't want to call it a farm, but sanctuary. And actually, this was the second year last year that Nora and Ears, we helped, My Pig Filled Life collect pumpkins
For the pigs?
for the pigs.
That's awesome.
And I can't tell you, it was so many pumpkins,
Doesn't matter,
2
they'll eat
dumpster.
anything.
Yeah, they'll eat lots of them. But I made it a point this year to take a Saturday and actually go out to the sanctuary to see where our hard work of collecting pumpkins. And it's just, I've never seen so many pigs that are actually getting to live their full life out there. And just hearing the stories about how some of them, one of the pigs, she was telling me that fell off a truck, going to McDonald's place to be put down.
Yeah.
Fell off a truck and someone picked it up and contacted them, and it's going to live to its full capacity. So.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So Ears is
Lucky break.
Yeah, Ears is not just we help other organizations, but it's a local one. It's not all over the place. And I mainly do supplies pickups for the fosters because I have a flexible schedule as a real estate agent.
Yeah.
And so we collect them at Pet Supplies Plus.
Yep.
And other, I think there's a Petco too. So
Very cool. Yeah, I think it's vitally important to give back, especially if you are a successful real estate agent. You have disposable income.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep it all.
Yeah.
Right? You're fortunate. You're in I say this to people all the time, and I've probably said it on this podcast multiple times. If you are making $36,000 US, you're in the top 1% of the entire world. Mm-hmm. And a good agent is making significantly more than $36,000. So you're already into the micro percentiles of the entire world. So give back a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Time and money, just give it away.
Yeah, and for me, I just because I had to learn it was a hard lesson to learn. It doesn't happen overnight, right? Real estate or success is not given. You have to be persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I might get this confused, but a lot of people, they give up. So for me, it's rejection and regret. Regret is long term. No. Hold on.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but that's why you're competitive now.
Yeah, and so regret, I'll take rejection any day because
Your rejection is short, regret's long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as long as you're consistent and persistent, that's what I was taught, and that's what I do.
It works. It works.
Works if you work it too.
It does. All right, man. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, great chat.
Yeah.
And guys, we're going to put all of his information down in the description below. So if you want to get in contact with Thomas, even if it has to do with if you found a pig, right? Call Thomas. So
or
doesn't have to be real
want to
estate.
foster, or donate to my AIDS life cycle for the final one.
Absolutely. So we'll put all his information down below. And thanks for watching.